Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, December 13th. It is, 12 days before Christmas? How crazy is that? Where'd the year go? For some, it feels like a really long year. And for some people, I don't know, I kind of compare it to childbirth. It's painful, but then, you don't remember it. Anyway, so today is day 28 of my health and wellness journey. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it going past 30 days as far as sharing every single day. I might, I don't know. If you're watching this, drop a line and let me know if this is something that I should continue. I plan on, regardless of whether or not I'm logging it online, is I'm planning on doing the running anyway, and continuing with the apple cider vinegar because it makes me feel good. I think I'm in a very good place as far as having created a good habit. And it's something that I look forward to. It's about a half an hour out of my day, and it helps me get grounded and focused and have some energy. So, and I've noticed that my appetite has kicked up a notch. I'm not eating. It's almost like I forget the term for it, like fasting, I guess. Where I'm trying to eat within a certain time period, and I'm really only eating when I'm hungry. But when I'm hungry, it's like rip roaring hungry. So that I'm like, I have to eat right now, and I'm trying to stay away from the donuts. Not always successful, but I am seeing progress with that. But today's topic, while I was running, was it's kind of funny. When I go through the park, there is one crosswalk that kind of zigzags a little bit, and I never actually stayed between the lines, and I was kind of curious to know if when you're kind of out and about and there's no traffic or anything, nobody's watching you. Do you stay between the lines when you're at a crosswalk, or do you go outside of them? And I want you to think about why you might do one or the other. For me, I'm not entirely sure. I have to kind of unpack that a little bit, but it's the same with coloring. I have the capacity to color between the lines. Sometimes I don't. Um, I mean, when I have to be careful, when I have to, I don't know, maybe show quality or something like that, uh, I have to stay between the lines. And I guess it's the same thing in life, when we're out and about, or depending on who we're with, there's certain lines that we draw. So again, when I'm online, it's a little bit of a personality. It's still me, uh, but a lot of this stuff isn't stuff that I normally talk with maybe my husband with or my kids. I'm just kind of talking to the ether out there. And so I think that is something just to meditate on or reflect upon, is just, when it comes to those lines that we draw for each other, and physically, literally, when you're coloring a page, do you purposely color inside the lines? Do you like to go outside the lines? Do you like to make your own lines? And then for me, again, at the crosswalk, I don't know, there's a little tiny bit of, and I know it sounds silly, but it's like that little bit of rebellion, like, no, I'm not gonna walk between these lines. I don't need to. Why should I? And that's a slippery slope also, especially when it comes to other behaviors and things. So knowing where your boundaries are, I think is important, but I think it's also important to push those boundaries, see how far you can get. I'm not talking criminal or anything like that. I mean, there is a line, and then of course safety. If I'm trust me, I've been to Boston, and they have these really the pedestrian laws and stuff like that. I mean, pedestrians can walk out in front of your car, uh, and they don't care. You are required to stop. So it's like they have no lines; they just go. I think that's dangerous. But if you're looking both ways and there's nobody there, do you stay between the lines? I usually step outside of them, and every once in a while I get looks. I mean, like literally on a crosswalk. Um, I'm like, oh, ooh, breaking the law. And it's kind of funny that people will just stay very rigid along other people's lines. And I think it's something that should be unpacked. That's kind of like the thought of the day. I'm going to keep it really short. It is Sunday right now. Happening over at Indie Vault is Sunday Funnies. And Randy, if you tune in later watching this, I doubt it. I am thinking of you. I had to get my walk in because if it's not like the first thing that I do, chances are it's not going to happen. Um, and that's really about it. If you're tuning in on the replay, let me know if you are at all interested in seeing this continue. I'm willing to do that. It's really a couple of minutes out of my day if I do it right after my run, and just gotta get a shower. And sometimes I'm looking like this. But good morning, Nita. Let me see what you have here. I find myself drawing new lines all the time or erasing them and bringing them back. Yeah. But, I think it's more, it could be literal, it could be philosophical, it could be emotional, psychological, all of those things where, we kind of create those lines, boundaries, whatever you want to call them. And I think it's important to push them. I think there are some things that don't necessarily need boundaries. One of them is imagination. Um, when it comes to creativity and things like that, when it comes to coloring, I mean, how tragic is it for a kindergartner who just sees something else on the piece of paper and, they're coloring outside the lines, not because they can't, it's because maybe they don't want to, and then it's like, oh, fail, because you didn't conform. And I don't like that. I don't like that as far as the creative process. Um, if somebody has the capacity to stay within the lines and they jump out a little bit, and that relates to a topic that I actually want to discuss with Rob Anderson and a few other people who write kind of outside the boundaries, as far as dark fiction, as far as maybe erotica, horror, uh, any of those topics that people will kind of shutter themselves from, you know, or say, "Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't write that. I can't read that. What will somebody else think?" It's like, who cares what somebody else think? Are they living in your head? No. Are you living in theirs? No. So, as far as imagination and creativity, I really don't believe that there should be boundaries. It's okay to set them for yourself, but push those boundaries. It's okay. Anyway, that's really it. It's 8 minutes in. I wanted to keep this short and sweet. I got to get a shower in, guys. There are a bunch of podcast episodes that are updated. I still have to load a few more. So head over to the Geek Insider podcast. If you do a Google search, you're going to find it on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, a whole bunch of places that you can tune in. So make sure that you go over there and subscribe. And while you're subscribing to things, head over to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button, and you will get notified when I go live. So I am tying in a lot of the Geek Speak episodes and things like that. I want to build up Geek Insider because they're the ones that are going to help me pay the bills. So head over there and subscribe to Geek Insiders with an S on the end when you do a search for them on YouTube. I think that's about it. Yeah, I've been rambling, and I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. So the question of the day is: do you stay inside the lines? Do you stay outside of the lines? Do you kind of go in between? Why? And then let me know if you are interested in seeing these continue after the 30-day challenge is over. On that note, you guys have a great weekend. Stay productive, stay safe, have fun, and be kind. It only takes a little bit of effort. Have a great day.